All right, so I am live. I think I got the glitches out. I'm Ann Marie Walts. I'm your host, and tonight I want to talk to you about real truths that happen to be part of my real story and some of the ugly side of owning a business that people don't talk about. So I'm just going to check right now. Okay, we are currently streaming on my YouTube channel, so welcome. And I want to ask you this. Are you tired of seeing the salesmen or the pitchmen that are just trying to sell you the fastest, quickest possible way to get rich? And oh, bada boom, you got to use this. I'm here to cut through some of that bro energy, and much respect and love to my fellow colleagues that run their businesses and marketing ethically. All right, so right now I'm going to bring you back on a field trip. By the end of this video, you're going to actually have some insight about what it takes to survive owning a business literally for decades. Yes, decades, and I'm not playing. If you stick around to the end too, I will be giving you some valuable access to some things. My story has teeth. All right. Arr. All right. So, what are you looking at right now? First of all, it's been very easy in, let's say, the last 5 years to chuck up a website and to be able to say you're a guru. I'm not a guru. I'm somebody that actually has been around since 2008. So if you use Wayback Machine, here's your first tip. If you've never heard of Wayback Machine, it's actually right here. It's web.archive. I started out as a hairstylist back in the 90s. I'm still doing luxury hair, and I'm also going to bring you through the process as I tell my story to give you some tips of absolute expert advice on how to survive, how I made it through, how you can make it through. So if you stumble across my channel right now, you're gonna know that, like right here, see this 2008? That's a long time. So I'm really excited, and what I'm looking to do now is to pull some of you literally in to, really, my channel is called Think Your Way to a Million, and there's some grit behind that. I'm not about let's get to $1 million really fast. What if I could mentor you through my own channel and through you following me how to build something that lasts, right? So the backstory is I started making content way back then. So we're going to flip to the next window. Now, I love this analogy because have you ever heard somebody say, oh, they're just going to try to sell you a bridge? How about if I show you this? Would your business be able to survive the next two clips that I'm just going to give you a sneak peek at really, really fast? And what would you do? So look at this, right? What is that? How about those were steel plates that were going up and over my building, which I'll bring you to the next clip. Are you ready? Now, really watch this. I want you to do an exercise right now, wherever it is that you are in this moment. And I'm going to talk to you, a couple of you, I used to educate, so I'm going to talk to you as if you are separate groups. Feel free to leave a comment. I do respond to my comments, okay? Keep it on task. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe to my channel, whether you are on Facebook or whether you are here on YouTube with me. I greatly appreciate it. It helps get the message out. But this goes back, so imagine if you are right now, let's see, I've been 30 years plus in my industry as a whole. So maybe right now I might, when I started in the industry, I might have more years than you've been alive on the planet. So I'm going to talk to you. I call you young blood first, right? Maybe you're really hungry right now. The grass is green. The grass is green everywhere because all you have is a whole boatload of hope. Keep that. Stay hungry, right? And then follow somebody like me so that you don't like trip, fall, and make some of the mistakes that I did along the way. All right? And be mindful of the people that you have mentoring you in your life, because I'm going to be real. There are people in the marketing space that are like, they're like sharks. They see young blood or they see opportunity, and if they're not grounded in their intentions about wanting to make more of an impact in other people's life, oh, they'll climb right into your wallet. So let me show you this clip for a moment. But before I do, let's switch hats. Now, are you possibly the entrepreneur that's been following me? Maybe you're on the edge of burnout. You're about to quit, and you're like, there's got to be something out there to help me. You're going to appreciate this clip. And I think those are probably the two audiences that, like, we were either there at one point when you're starting a project, or maybe you're on the mid to other side of it and it's like not so shiny anymore, but you've built something, but you just got to take it to the next level. So you follow it? All right, so this clip, imagine you've worked really hard and then this is why I'm going to flip back to this right here. The ugly side of business that nobody prepares you for. No guru can prepare you. I don't care how much money you pay a guru that tells you there's going to be stuff that happens. That amount of money that you spend on a guru, and I've spent money on gurus, believe me, air quote gurus, is not going to brace you for what life can truly hand you. And so we'll go back here, right here. And then I'm going to play this for a second. It's really short. So the other thing I want to point out, this was 12 years ago. 12 years ago. It's in front of my salon. And are you ready? Look at that. Look at that, right? Wow, that's a biscuit. All right, so we don't need to play the whole thing. But what I can tell you is this. Every bit of my business was being threatened. And what was that, right? So when I see if I can, there you go, I'll go. There's my salon. And then right in the distance, in the back of the distance down there where it says there's a yellow sign where my cursor is, was actually my husband's business. So picture yourself. Put yourself in my shoes, or put yourself in your own shoes right now. Think about, oh, I want to go in business for myself. What can I brace myself for? And brace yourself for the most unpredictable stuff, but stick around, because there can always be a happy ending. And as far as like why I named my channel Think Your Way to a Million, it's because in the midst of this, I am always going to recommend this book. You better write it down. You better go get it. You better implement it. And even if you come from a place of money, still read the book. And it's called I'm going to write my own book. It's called The Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. And there'll be more about this as we move on. So if somebody tries to sell you a bridge, right, and I'm just moving my screen around, somebody tries to sell you a bridge, or if you happen to be, I'm gonna, with permission, I'm also gonna speak to another group, because you might be following me. If you're one of those bro dudes, and if that makes you cringe, and you're just trying to sell stuff from a place of you think you know, you might be a good kick-butt salesperson that can read something out of a textbook. You can go to all the tactical classes of persuasion, but you don't know until you own a business where what happened next, I'll show you. And there's a real bridge, but you're trying to sell a bridge. I want you to pause for a moment. I'm not saying what you have to offer won't help to amplify a local owner's business, but until you have owned a local business, your cold calling, your cold pitching, your cold DM needs to change because your intent needs to change. When you become more impactful to make an impactful difference, that is when you'll be helping a local business. All right? So, my next thing. So, not only did our family have to have a bridge not sold to us, but inserted physically into our property and our land. Are you ready? For 5 years. People think that when like some kind of inconvenience like that happens, such as like this bridge, that you get rich quick. Just the opposite happens, okay? We had Jersey barriers with eminent domain on our property. They took our land for 5 years. 5 years, yes, 5 years. And look at this. It was a federal government project that was funded for $1 million. All right? So what happened? We are still here. Ann Marie Walts, official, yes, Ann Marie Walts official, and thinkyourwayto1million.com. I'm still here, and I'm here to make an impact in your life. So out of this, we got a small measly check for $23,000. But moving on. Okay, so then what happened? I'll tell you what happened. Imagine I told you we'll go way back. I'll take you on a ride. I started making content 20 years ago. 20 years ago. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit the subscribe button. Because if you are young blood, you might as well learn from this badass Gen X. Okay? Because you can learn from my mistakes, right? So imagine now making content from all the way back here. Then a bridge comes by way of the federal government, and then you finally get your property back. Do you know what happened next? And now I'm going to bring it back to this. The ugly side of business. Just in the moment that we thought we could celebrate, and there's still a celebration in being able to get our property back, but not only was there a bridge, there were Jersey barriers to the main access of the road. Now, my husband and I have been together since 1990. We just sort of celebrated our 30-something year anniversary. The grass is, I'm telling you people, is not always green. You might think a job might look greener, but just know that, you know what, doesn't matter what lawn looks greener, you're always going to have to pull the weeds. So, what happened? What if I told you, we'll go here, that like the summer that we get the property back, I had been blogging, ready, for many, many years. I had multiple websites to the tune of 14 websites because this is what I had done. I literally got certified in absolutely everything within my hair industry, my beauty industry. You name it, I'm certified in it. So then I got hacked so bad. I got hacked so badly that I lost everything. I lost all my websites. I lost 7 years worth of work. Now, before you chime in, because some troll's going to say, well, didn't you back it up? You should have backed it up. You should have done this. You should have done that. I'll give you your shouldas, because from 2008 and some of the learnings, I taught myself how to do WordPress, heat maps, Google Analytics, how to build my traffic, how to build my business all the way from ground up. So, as the story goes, come along with me. Be sure to hit the subscribe. There's grit behind this. So picture yourself. What would you do if you had taken all that time, all those hours to build your website? Would have you first given yourself a pat on the back because you learned how? And then imagine something coming along in business, because guess what? There's the ugly side of business that I'm going to tell you. You don't know when it's going to knock on your door. And this isn't about being doomsday, because what brought my business to where it was in that first part of, like, the first part from 2008 to would probably be a decade ago, was I was building content. All right. So then now, let's see, right here, right here. So now the current state of things are this. If you don't know how to build a website and you don't know how to do marketing, follow my channel, follow my body of work. Because even without me pitching anything or selling anything, and yes, you can have access to what it is that I do use, but instead of me saying and filling your email box and telling you to subscribe from a place of where I see others trying to do their marketing, because I am in the marketing shark tank, I guess. I think sometimes the marketing circle is like going to the Boston Sea Aquarium, right? But my stuff in my work are for the people like you, for real people that own real businesses, need real strategy, and no hype. Okay? No hype. So I'm really happy to say that what happened after losing everything when it came to my digital real estate? True story. I was on, it would be, next month's going to be 11 years ago. I was on my back deck, literally crying like a big baby. And my husband said to me this. I'm like, oh man, what am I going to do? I can't believe I lost 7 years worth of blogging. He goes, you know what? Buckle up, Buttercup. Get over it. He goes, build something new. And sometimes within your marketing, that can be the best rebranding that you can possibly do. Sometimes when it comes to your marketing, doing just the polar opposite of what everybody is doing and what everybody's preaching is the best place to go. So I did. And then what happened? A constant continuation of working on your branding and your marketing, when you can start to grasp the concepts like in bite-sized pieces for yourself as a business owner, can really help you withstand the test of time. And are you ready? The ugly side of things that happen. So this, right here. This right here, I got to share with you. This particular rendition of my salon website happens to be built on my favorite platform of tools. You can check in my bio. You can click in there. You can get a free trial, all right? But come along with me on my journey. We'll talk more as we go on. But the thing I want to share with you is this. Make sure if you're going to go into business for yourself that you have courage, read a lot of books, surround yourself around like-minded people. Know that you're not alone. Know that you're not crazy on the times that like business can go up, it can be really high, you can make a lot of, like, I guess you could say sometimes your sales are going to be higher, sometimes they might go down lower. Or the things that I find and what I did too, which is a big piece of this, was, do you know that I'll go back to here, bring this up, right? Let's go all the way back for a moment. Oh, it doesn't even go back that far. Pardon me. Back in 2001 is when I automated my salon with online booking. How about that? So that was before the first iPhone. So if I'm extremely passionate on my channel about automation, it's because I want to make such a simplified impact in your life to help you overcome the fear of using technology, because listen, not everybody understands tech. And if I understand one thing is this, man, some people like to make it bigger than what it is, and like, oh, what? And if you've ever seen that old movie, The Wizard of Oz, that's sometimes what sales guys do. So yeah, so let's move on. So then I rebuilt, and like, so every bit of my content is mine. Now, some are going to say, oh, you don't want to do everything yourself. You got to let go. You need to get a team. Okay, if that works for you, no problem. But what if right now I'm talking to you and you happen to be a content creator and you like to make a difference and you just love that creative aspect. Like, creating stuff is just what inspires you. Let me tell you, I got a little bit of something for everyone on this channel. Whether you're a solopreneur, whether you have a team, whether you want to plug your idea in and you want to be able to monetize it, but you don't know how, then this is what my channel's about. Because I'm on a mission to break the tech down so simplistically that a kindergartner could pick up my education, run with it, and you know what? By the time they were in like 5th grade, they could be like blowing up their classroom. And all right, so which brings me, let's pivot now to, I am also certified by a software company because over the course of my career, I learned how to do everything that's on here. I'm going to skip over this for right now, which then brings me to, I want you to be able to plug one of your ideas into either the whole platform that I have for software or a piece of it or something. All right. And so that's why I built Think Your Way to a Million.com. So the other thing I'm going to share are even the pitfalls, even on this go live, of what I thought was going to happen 7 months ago and where I am now, right? So 7 months ago, I was inspired at a software conference, still absolutely love the company. And I saw about 6 or 7 guys stand up because we were at an affiliate meeting to celebrate. It was like an awards, more education about recommending a product and they had made over $1 million in sales. And congratulations, you guys, if you are following me. Much respect to you and love. But time stopped right then. And I was like, what do they have in common? Why are they making $1 million? How can I make $1 million? And how was that they were using YouTube? I was like, wow, well, I can do YouTube. I've been making content for 20 years. So that also was part of the inspiration to make my channel called Think Your Way to a Million. Now, was I hoping, and the chase isn't over, and I'm not going to stop, that my personal goal still is and still will be to attempt to actually make that benchmark at some point digitally, yada, yada, yada. But what I can tell you is that it's been an absolute thrill to be able to make as much content as I have and to have conversations with some of you on my channel now, and you're all over the world. So what I want to impress upon you is this. It doesn't matter what field you're in, or if you're using like any of the social medias, depending, it does, like what age you are, 18 and up, what have you, or if you are a minor, be mindful of the things that you watch, but that the internet actually connects all of us. And where you are compared to where I was in 2008, do you know what it was like to try to build a business in 2008? Right? It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. We used to have to go out in public. We used to have to talk to people. You actually had to go to the store to go buy your clothes and everything. Amazon didn't exist. Amazon didn't exist. Why do I share that with you? I share this with you because if you are stuck in your business right now and you're like, the internet's like right here, but you don't know how to use it, then follow me, because I'll show you how to use it so that it's like becomes like your driving force. And that's where simplifying the tech is what I absolutely love doing. Because wouldn't you agree, if somebody shows you how to do something, and I exaggerate the how to do something, versus you just watching somebody do something, once you learn how to do it, then you can withstand, right? If something like this happens, what do you think my go-to was? It was either this. When something like this happens, you have two choices. You ready? You either panic and just quit, because what are you going to do? Or the big thing that I teach amongst my stuff, my channels and stuff, is this. You got to have a good, you got to recognize and give yourself permission about the panic. All right. You go, wow. But think of it like it's the weather, because that can change. And then just get down and dirty with making content, right? So I'm going to pull up my analytics. Now, when I was creating this YouTube channel, and I've been around a while, I've got other YouTube channels, but I had never worked on one with the intent, like really strategic intent, and thank you for being part of it. And I started this channel as soon as I got home from, let's see, right here, okay, to here, from being inspired by seeing something that triggered me, that like, wow, you can use social media with that by recommending a product, and then the company will pay you commissions. You can educate people on how to use it. It's all legit. It's not MLM, all right? Because some of you might throw that at me, and you're wrong. And if I cause a little friction, right? And I say cause friction, because you're like, oh yeah, too good to be true. Oh, look at that. I'm going to say, hey, what? That's normal, because when I bring you back to, let's see, right here, and I'll bring you to my portfolio, right? I do hair extensions. So I literally, over this journey of making content, my haircuts used to only be $19. My average makeover now, I'm not going to say exactly how much, but they're four figures. I make packages. What I help people like you do is overcome that mindset shift. So we'll go, let me take you somewhere else now. let's see, hold on. The mindset shift that I experienced. So I'll go back to my salon. I was in a hair extension class 20 years ago, and they said, hey, learn how to make $1,000 to $4,000 an appointment. 20 years ago. Don't you think this went, oh yeah, sure, yeah, what a bunch of bullcrap. Yeah, right. Yeah, seriously? My haircuts are like $19. What a load of crap. So you know what I did? I said, shut up. Because I allowed myself, and that's what I tell those of you that are wanting to, like, if you have a business, try to raise your prices. Your increase in price could be $1, but you might be freaking out about it. It's just to let that go. And then going back to my story, I was just like, well, all right, this company did it. Well, they seem to be all right. Okay, I guess I'll figure out the path to get from there to there. All right. So over the course of bridges, unexpected things, I did. So now bringing you forward, when it comes to building a YouTube channel, start. Okay, start. And then I'll give you some tidbits while we're on here now. I'll go to here, all right? Some things that you can do. First of all, subscribe. But some things you can do is to make a vibe for your channel. Who are your people? What is it that you want to talk about? And here's the best part. You're just gonna have to give it time. You have to give it time. Now I'm in an affiliate circle. We'll get to that. And because that was what had inspired me, and I was just like, oh, geez. But I didn't want to when it came to, we'll go to content, right? And I'm going to go to playlists. I'll give some tips about playlists, right? Now it seems as though it would make the most common sense that my content would be all about hairstyling. But there's so much more to me other than that one topic that I've spent my whole entire life being good at. But I have discovered that through my channel as I make content, that the discovery is helping other people make content is what I really enjoy doing. So a tip that you can do is this, is that, like, if you're unsure about what to do, you know, with AI being at your disposal right now, I would suggest, like, here, we'll punch up, I'll even use my own content to help you. Go ask even, whoops, hold on, ChatGPT, right? So, and I'll pull this up. Whoops. You can use ChatGPT to get a jump start in case you don't have a coach. And some coaches aren't going to like this, but I'm a coach, and coaches need coaches, and people need inspiration. And what a great place to start. So you can check that out. The other thing that I found that was extremely helped me, because being multifaceted and not wanting just to chase one thing, you know how boring chasing one thing would get? Because even if you make a lot of money doing one thing, you know what? You really run the chance of becoming bored. So it doesn't matter how much money you have, how much imagination, what really wakes you up in the morning that you're like, yeah, I want to do this. Okay? Because just that drive, on some instances through decades, you really have to love what you're doing to be able to stay open for decades. Right? So here's the other thing you can do. You can make playlists, right? So playlists, think of it like Netflix. So if you do have multiple interests, make different playlists for that. So that way, if one day you want to talk about, let's see, no BS advice, right? Then most likely when I go back to here, that's where I could wind up putting this particular segment into a playlist. Another tip that I can give you is you can play around with doing long content where you might go live, like I'm going live now. Let's see, my timer says I've been live for 35 minutes. If you're still watching, thank you. And when you go live, then what you can do is you can take a live segment and then you can chop it up into bits with either Descript or even the likes of CapCut. And then you have shorter versions of your long piece. And then this way you can work on having multiple pieces of content just by doing one segment. And the other thing the key thing I can tell you about setting up YouTube is this. It's not like Facebook where you're connected to your friends, family, acquaintances, and that. It's a completely different animal. Everybody's from all over. People are going to have things to say. So my first recommendation is, just like in one of my videos about setting up YouTube, you can search that, is like how to get your YouTube set up for protecting yourself against trolls, right? So I like to go granular and give stuff that's like of value, right? So moving on. So then what's nice is that going from absolutely nothing, I've had 26,000 views. There's been 164 hours of watch time, and I've gained over 130 subscribers. Now, what hasn't happened yet, okay, is I haven't come close to making $1 million in 12 months. And that's what I had said that I wanted to strive to do. But hey, once you've been at something as long as I have, you're just not going to quit. So that brings me to another point when it comes to YouTube. Your YouTube, your channel, or your channels, right? When it comes to making content, you're going to find that they're going to have their different cadence. Your audience is going to either crave or want different things. But the one thing that really does work, lean in, the secret, not so secret sauce. And it doesn't take you a guru to tell you this. But if you want to think I am, well, that's up to you. Be yourself. Be yourself. And given that that can probably be the hardest thing that some of you struggle with now, because I'm in a lot of groups, I see a lot of anxiety floating around. And you know what? Be yourself. Just be yourself. There's nobody more special on this planet than the person that you're looking at in the mirror. Because there's an easy way to not deal with trolls. You either don't engage them, you block them, you report them, you just move on. All right, that part of being out here on social media is not going to change. You can't absorb somebody else's negative comments, especially if they're disparaging or bullying, because that says nothing about you. It says 100% about them. So the fastest way to grow a channel is just be yourself. Just be yourself. And then I found that, like, don't get too caught up in the technical things when it comes to growing a channel. And what I mean by that, I'm not knocking things like make a good thumbnail, but don't get lost in the weeds about making the perfect thumbnail. Better to start and have momentum than not start at all. Like, I've met people, like even this year, that I had my laptop out at an event. I could have set the YouTube channel up probably in like a half an hour, because I was just like, you can do this. Make free traffic for yourself. Oh, I'm getting the videos made. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And just try to avoid like stopping from starting. And then you're going to find, look at mine. I came out really hot, made a lot of content, and there's going to be differing opinions about that as well. Oh, don't make too much. The videos are going to be fighting for traffic amongst themselves. Don't make too little. Don't make them too long. Don't make them too short. Make sure you have the right hook. Add value. Add value. Of course, it's important in the first 30 seconds to grab somebody's attention, because, of course, you don't want to be like, okay, in today's lesson, we're going to. But I say that, but I actually attended a class and they gave an example of a guy that actually did talk like, okay, and today. And it was funny because the contrast was that he had an amazing following. So that's why I say be yourself. Now, you'll see that there was an absolute lull right here. I was testing something. What I was testing was like the algorithm in a sense, because I had put so much fuel or wood on the fire, got it burning, and then I was like, all right, let's see what happened. I was still getting views and that. And it was summertime. Let's go on vacation. So the other nugget that I can share with you is don't stress out. Just have fun. And then, of course, I've been back at it this summer. Because also, too, I was finding out that with the personality of what it is that I built and looking at some of the stats and that it was okay that my audience was actually looking for me to show up more. However you show up, just show up. If you want to show up once a week, that's fine. Couple times in a week, that's fine. You'll find out what your cadence is. And from my experience, I can tell you the more often you do it, it just becomes a lot easier. So then, next. Now, let's jump into what is it that I can help you with when it comes to you hanging out with me for my automation sort of stuff. And be sure to hit subscribe, okay? What I can tell you is this. I got this crazy email back in 2008. It's almost like one of those emails that was like too good to be true. And I was like, I don't know. And so I was just like, it said, do you want to learn how to make thousands of dollars online blogging? And I got to tell you, I was like, hold on a minute. I got to fix my camera. There we are. Okay. And I have to tell you, I was like, oh, I don't know. What a bunch of, that might be a bunch of bull crap, right? But I was like, well, you know something? It got my attention. So it's like, I opened the email, but they had given away too much content in the one email. So then ultimately what I wound up doing was I just taught myself a whole bunch of stuff. So now can I tell you that what's really cool is this. Hold on. I'm just going to go here a minute. I got to get my other camera to work properly. Hold on. You always got to love it when tech, yeah. All right, streaming, yes. Okay, camera, yes. And thank you for hanging with me. All right, and switch back. All right, and there. All right, and make sure we can switch the window. Yep, okay. So what I can tell you is that I can actually build automations. So what if I was able to show you the fact that you could have an automation within your business that could then save your missed calls? How would that be, right? Because if you don't have something in play, then what happens is you get a missed call, you miss an opportunity, and then you can wind up losing money, and nobody wants to lose money. So the difference between some that just sell tech versus myself that knows how to use it is that if I make a recommendation about a tool and I'm like, oh, use this, it's the best thing, it's because I actually know how to fix it. And then I did. I got certified. I got certified by HighLevel Software. So I took the extra time, just as I always do, because I want to just be able to bring to you a value and stuff that's really usable. So if you haven't been to my website, stop by. You're welcome to chime in. You can get on my mailing list, and I can promise you that I'm not going to spam you. That just really annoys me. So can you imagine uh, if you were armed with, and I'll go back to here, actually, where I'm going to bring is, I'll wrap it up with here. So imagine right now, if I were to show you how to automate your business through my channel, how to overcome mindset or hang up about money for either charging more or charging what they say you're worth, right? Or helping you put together a high, what do they call it? High ticket offer. And I say that with a little bit of snark because I'm generally over the, I'm going to say the over the top stuff of like, I've cracked the code. I'm not going to say I cracked the code, but like, I do know what it takes to help you learn how to build content. I do know what it takes to help you recover if you lost your content. And I have been around for several decades. And then I love making a new idea and being able to plug it online, put it online, and that's what I want for you. So what I can tell you is this. You can, if just go ahead and hit subscribe, and then when you go to my bio here on my YouTube channel, then check out where I do have right here. I think it's right here. Yeah. Check this out, okay? Boom, boom, boom. And what this is what I can tell you. You can grab my overview class about why I love HighLevel. You'll get an extended trial for free. You'll get a true 5-day boot camp on how to get your first customer, all right? And then the beautiful thing is there's no upsell behind door number 2 within the free offer, because I really want to make an impact and like have you, right? Have you not have to withstand this that I went through, but, and I'm going to stop back here, right? Show you like how to use AI, because you're going to have to use it at this point, all right? Introduce you to what's worked for me from somebody that's real. I'm real. And if you really want to make a difference and actually grow something that's real, then you know what? That's truly what I'm about. And I'll bring it back to my website. All right. And I'll bring you back to my website. I'll bring you back to my home base. I'm Ann Marie Walts, and I really want you to have a really good life, right? Get the book, The Total Money Makeover. Follow my work. You can see that I survived a bridge. I don't sell bridges. I actually just will like keep sharing the strategy. And I say strategy, but I'm just going to say how-to videos, all right? I think telling you that I'm going to share how-to videos is more relatable than me trying to like make it sound more than what it is. I can also share with you that I am responsible for taking care of a business that actually does a sizable business. And it's also why, okay, I go like this, and if you see my cursor, I know what it is to actually have read that book, that's Dave Ramsey. I know what it is to be debt free. I am. So I want to really help those of you that really want to not have a hard life. Life doesn't have to be harder than what it is, it can be complicated. I want you to pursue your dreams. I want you to be able to pivot. I would like to see one of you leave a comment on my feed, I don't know, 6 months from now. Oh my God, Ann Marie, you know what? I took your advice and made a difference in my life. And then we can do like a digital high five, right? So I'm still a work in progress. I don't have everything figured out, but I know that what I have figured out can help save you decades. Decades, my friend. So continue to follow my work. I'm going to continue to show how to's for real solutions for real people. And as I wind things down for today's broadcast, if you own a service based business, by implementing like this, something like this down at the bottom, it can really make a difference. The other thing I can tell you is this: if you are not honing down your consultation, connect with people. I love consulting because I actually lean in to hear what is not working, and then through years of decades of wow, ups, downs, and a little bit of some of the ugly side of business that people don't tell you about, am I able to provide a solution based from a place of I know that it has worked for me. So I just want to say thank you. Be sure to visit my website. Go ahead. I invite you, I truly do, to go to, I'll bring you back here so that you know where to find it. Here, I'll go to my channel. All right. Yep, we're live. You can go here and then, like right here, I call it plug in and profit strategies because you truly do get a 5-day boot camp with my favorite company. I also lay out within my free course expectations because that is so important. So important. Real expectations that can lead to real solutions for real people for that have real businesses is just it's what it's how I run my business. Whether you're sitting in my chair for a makeover, or if we're on Zoom and you're trying to make over your business, or you're like, oh, hey, how do I even start one? Well, thank you so much. I'm Ann Marie Walts. If you found something useful within this content, hit me up. Be sure to hit subscribe. Check out my channel as far as if you do want to know more about like how you can use high level. There's an overview on there. I'm going to be doing more overviews and more simple to understand how to tutorials. And should you sign up for getting email information, I can tell you right now, look you straight in the eye, straight into the camera. I am not going to hammer and blow up your box, whether it's an SMS and you're in the privacy of your phone. If you give me your cell phone and you sign up for something, don't worry, I'm not going to spam you. And that also goes for email content. I'm not a marketer that believes in that. I'm not a marketer that runs that kind of operation. Life's too digitally noisy. It's too noisy, my friend. And I really want you to be able to use a piece of the content, implement it, and get to work. Let's get it done. So that's me. I'm really comfortable being myself. I'm not a pitchman. I'm just a professional that's been around, right? Since before the beginning of time. So thank you so much. And until I make another broadcast, I appreciate your time. Get busy, get to work, and then hit subscribe. Let's go to my channel one more time so that we can get started working together. All right. And right here. Okay, right here. And then I'm just going to look it up from the beginning. I'm not perfect. Ann Marie Walts, YouTube. It's just faster for me to get there. All right, and that'll be right here, or it's in the description when I'm not. So right here. All right. So right there, and that will be it. Oh, also too, and you do get a free trial, just so I'm clear and transparent. And then if you do upgrade to use the software beyond the trial, you and I will be affiliated together. So you will be in my community, so to speak. So we will be connected together. And I just want to see you. I just want to see you succeed, because it's kind of like it's win-win for both of us. But I really, 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 really want to see like one of you, a few of you go, I used your idea, Ann Marie, and it worked. All right. See you later.